Hey guys, we are welcome. We want to welcome you today. We're so excited that you're joining us today for Coffee with Clients. This is week number 2 of the new year, and we are just super excited about today and this opportunity to welcome you into the virtual cafe. So we want to encourage you right at the outset, make yourself comfortable and welcome to the cafe, the virtual cafe for Coffee with Clients. This is week number 2. It is Friday. It is the appointed time. It is Friday the 13th, but we're going to just completely ignore that and let you guys know that we're super excited to have you today. My name is Rick Curry. I'm an independent certified health coach with Optavia, and along with my wife and I, we began this journey nearly 3 years ago, and it has been super transformative in our lives in so many ways. And but we love the community. We love the opportunity to be with so many people that we've come to love and appreciate on this journey. One of the things that we love the most, I think, about Optavia is all of the amazing people that are introduced into your life along this journey. So I want to encourage you, as we encourage our clients, we encourage you to really get engaged in the community. The more you get engaged, it just seems like that the healthier that process really becomes. So let me take care of a couple little housekeeping items right at the outset. Number one, we welcome you here. We're delighted that you're here. And really and truly, we want you to be engaged. We want you to be as fully engaged as you can be in this little virtual weekly summit for client support. And look, let me acknowledge also that today we are doing the second half of element number 4, which is a remarkable principle. It's a remarkable teaching. As a matter of fact, it has been very, very impacting for my wife and I. Jennifer would be on here with me right now, but we have grandbabies, and every grandparent in the room knows grandbabies are God's reward for not killing your own. I said it, okay, I did. And those of you who don't yet have grandbabies are like, could that really be true? It's true. I'm just telling you, just wait and see. And so she's got grandbabies she's putting down in the other room, but she's fully engaged right here in the chat thread as well. So we want to take a moment and recognize Liz Knowles, Joy Hotchkiss, and they had the infamous Wayne Pendle with them last week. John, we didn't get Wayne Pendle this week, did we? I was like, no, we didn't get Wayne. So, but really, Liz and Joy really didn't need Wayne. Wayne was an added benefit. And look, if you missed last week, Wayne really shared a video, very heartfelt, heart-touching video by Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. And I'm telling you right now, you need to go back and watch last week's. And the video that Wayne posted is amazing of Dr. A. And I think every time I've ever heard him, and everybody that I know that have ever heard Dr. Anderson speak, he speaks with such ethos, he speaks with such passion, and I love it. And he tells his story, and it's remarkable. And so I want to encourage you to go back and do that. John and Brittany Rakowski are with us. And John, I'm just going to turn it over to you, and you can just cover over any mess I made too bad. And so thank you, John, for jumping in.
Oh, thanks, Rick. I have a feeling I'm just going to pile on top of it. So it's not going to be a covering up, but just an adding to. But hey, it's so good to be on here with you all. What an awesome privilege. My name is John. My wife is Brittany, and you're going to get to hear her story here at the end. But I've got the privilege of being able to dive into element 4 with you today. We're going to finish that up. Last week, our presenters, Liz and Joy, Wayne, and they did an amazing job at sharing the first part of element 4 and talking about our mindset. They talked about the drama triangle, how we so easily can get caught in wrapped up in that triangle, but instead we can move it out of the drama triangle and into the empowerment triangle, and it changes everything. If you did not hear that, go back and listen to it because it was powerful. But they also introduced us to one of Dr. Anderson's most powerful concepts, the stop, challenge, and choose. We're going to dive into that even more so today and take it a little bit further. But my whole journey with Optavia began really with an absolute fail at stop, challenge, and choose. It was a defining moment in my life, in our lives, and it led to one of the most unhealthy years of our life. So some of you may have noticed by now and might be wondering where my other drawstring is on my hoodie. Give me a little wave on the screen if you've noticed that. Anybody else is driving anybody else insane? Some of you are like, boy, you better get that drawstring out or else I'm not going to be able to focus on anything you have to say. Okay, it's about to make a whole lot more sense. Okay, January 29th. Of 2020, just a few weeks before the whole world turned upside down with all of the COVID craziness, Brittany went into labor with our second child. Okay, a couple hours later, the hospital sent us home, telling us that she was not in labor and wouldn't be having our child for several days. About 45 minutes after being home, I was holding our daughter in my hands in our bedroom. You see, last week, our presenters talked about 3 different ways that our brains can respond to a stimulus. The lizard, which is like the automatic one, the emotional, and then the thinking. The thinking is the goal. That's like the rational mindset that you want to be in, right? Oh, buddy, in this moment, I was straight up lizard. Everything was automatic. There was no thinking to be done. I even embraced it so much that I turned my skin green, just like a lizard, like literally. Okay, that's called trauma, people. And I've got pictures from within the ambulance on the way to the hospital that shows my green skin, and it was not pretty at all. But fortunately, in that moment, my automatic brain knew that it was an emergency when I first saw my child's head. So I dialed 911, I put it on speakerphone, I put it up on my bed, and then I proceeded to catch my baby as she fell into my hands as the 911 operator picked up. Like, what a welcome to the world. Like, oh, welcome, little baby. 911, what's your emergency? That's literally the first thing that she heard as she entered into this world. But listen, then the lizard brain failed me because the operator then instructed me to go and find a string somewhere to tie off the umbilical cord. Okay, now you guys are getting it. So I ran into the closet, I grabbed the first hoodie that I saw, and I yanked on the string, expecting it to come right out like any normal hoodie would do. But not this hoodie. Nope, not this hoodie. This hoodie has to be stitched right in the center of the back of the hood so that the strings are never different lengths. Like, seriously? Like, the one time that I needed a string, like, it's pretty genius, right? No, not when you're needing to tie off an umbilical cord of your baby that just came out. Someone didn't think that one all the way through. So instead of thinking rationally and just trying the next hoodie over, what did I do? I proceeded to run around my entire house looking for a pocket knife so I could cut off the string that was stuck. Hence the hoodie with one string. Okay, now you get it. Now you get it. That's the story. I hope y'all can focus now. So listen, we had a few scares on the way to the hospital in the ambulance and as we got to the hospital, but all in all, mom and baby are both healthy. But listen, then following all of this, COVID hit. Several other things happened that year in our lives. We went into what we called survival mode. We ate terribly. We got extremely unhealthy, not only in our weight, but we developed several medical issues. I developed a lot of anxiety, depression, and almost a year later, we were at the very bottom and we knew that we needed to start this health plan. In 2.5 months, I dropped 45 pounds. Due to that weight loss, I was able to get off all the medications that I was on, those different medical issues that I was developing at a young age of 32 at the time. And listen, it blessed us so much, and we just couldn't help but share it with other people for them to experience the same thing. And it was through the coaching and continuing to immerse ourselves in this community and habits of health like we're working through right now that it's radically changed our lives. And so much of that is because of the changed mindset That's the long-term side of all of this. That's what turns this from being a diet to a lifestyle change, is what's going on here, is the mindset. And that's what we want to dive into just a little bit more today. It's how we handle when you get faced with everyday difficulties and temptations in your health journey. Now, luckily, we're not all dealing with accidental home births on a regular basis, but what's much more common than that, and that we all absolutely are dealing with on a daily basis, is being emotionally upset and stressed and even overthinking. And these things typically lead us to grabbing those bags of chips or the comfort food or whatever that looks like. Triggers for that are things with work and family tensions and financial burdens. And when this happens, we are faced with a decision to go grab those chips or the barbecue crunchers, right? And when this happens, our breathing becomes shallow and chaotic, and that will wreak havoc on our bodies over time, long term. We don't even realize it. We're not even usually aware of this daily condition that we put ourselves in until we make a decision to pay attention to it and become aware that when we're in this state, this is happening. It's at this time that we need to stop and challenge and choose and put that in action. The cool thing about it is that we can actually regain control of this chaos that is going on in our mind. This happens during the challenge part of the stop, challenge, and choose, because that's when the war takes place, right? If you've been successful in stopping and just the quick knee-jerk reaction, and you've gotten to that point, that's awesome. But then it's going to be in that challenge phase that you're going to either head towards the healthy choice or head towards the unhealthy choice. And a phenomenal exercise to help slow down and avoid that chaotic state of mind is through our breathing. It's something that we can do to extend that period of time so that we're not making that quick and rash decision towards something unhealthy, and we can think through it and get away from the lizard mind towards the thinking mind and make the best rational decision that is going to serve our future. Okay, and we can do this through breathing, a phenomenal exercise to be able to slow that down. Okay, sure, you can just stop and take some deep breaths, but we want to teach you what's called the conscious breathing skill. And we find that in our life book. So you can dive into that even more if you have your life book with you. Okay, this gives you a structure, kind of just like our program does, right? It gives you a structure which simply helps you to be mindful and intentional and to take that moment to breathe, allowing yourself that space between stopping and needing to make a decision. So this is how it works, okay? It's very simple, but it's profound. First, you've got to establish a constant rhythm, okay? Because everything's chaotic in these moments. You don't even realize it. Your breathing's all messed up. You've got to establish a constant rhythm. The goal here is for it to feel very natural for you, so that it could look like this. It could look like 4 seconds of a deep breath in and then 6 seconds of a deep breath out. Okay, maybe that's what's most natural for you. Maybe for some of you, it's a little bit better to do 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. And you actually count those things. And what that helps you to do is to create just a steady, constant rhythm. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is making it even now. And how you do this is you just create an even flow of air so that the speed of the inhale and the exhale are the same. So you're not breathing everything in the first second and then just holding your breath for the 4 seconds, right? You're breathing in for the whole 5 seconds. You're breathing out for the whole 5 seconds. Now it's creating it even and it's making it nice and smooth. You're taking that to the next level. And then third, you create a positive emotional experience to go along with it. And this is where it takes it to that next level. This could be as simple as knowing and telling yourself and becoming aware of the fact that you are in control in this moment. You'll be amazed at even just this little bit of a pause between that knee-jerk reaction that you want to make, how much this allows you to just be aware and intentional of the decision that you're about to make. And now that you've activated that thinking brain and you've gained control of it, here's how we can go above the line and take this to the next level. You ask yourself, how can I learn and grow from this experience? Okay, it reminds me of scripture in the Bible that says, we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. We have the power to look at these situations in our lives, and after stopping and challenging and choosing a healthier option, we challenge ourselves with asking, how can I grow from this? What can I learn from this situation? How can this make me a better person? How can this better me in my health and bring me closer to a healthier me? That is how you live with a growth mindset instead of a closed defensive mindset. And even sometimes when you do the stop, challenge, and choose, and you choose poorly, because sometimes it's going to happen, you can take it above the line by learning from it after and using that to your advantage to grow and to do better next time. So I want to leave you with this challenge, is that the next time you're faced with something and you're faced with wanting to make a quick reaction towards something unhealthy, you put into practice stop, challenge, and choose. You put into practice the breathing exercise, and you tell your coach how it went. Report back to them. Let them know how it went and how it impacted you, and let them cheer you on and continue holding you accountable in that. Chances are you'll have an opportunity to put this into practice either today or tomorrow or very, very soon. And just remember this: if you've got an emergency, don't try to breathe in for 5 seconds and breathe out for 5 seconds. Just dial 911 and go, okay? But in all other opportunities, put this in practice. It's powerful. So I'm excited now to hand it over to my beautiful wife. She's going to share her perspective from our story and how this program has impacted her health.
I tell you what, I wish I would have had the breathing exercises for going through labor at home by myself. Just going to throw that out there. But man, that was a little walk down memory lane for me. Sometimes it feels like it was so long ago, and then other times it feels like it was just yesterday. And one thing that I will for sure never forget about that, there's a lot of things, but the biggest thing that I will never forget about that season, and when we came to the decision to join and start program with our coach's friend Lorraine, was the deep desperation that we had for something to pull us out of that despair that we were. The deep prayer that we had that this was going to be the thing that could kick us in our butt and get us moving, right? Did anyone else join this going, I just need this for 30 days to be the jump start to be able to do this on our own, right? When we had watched our coaches for years, we had watched other friends do this program, and we had all seen them lose weight, but this was the different part. They kept it off, and we knew there was something there. When we started, we quickly found out it was exactly what John just talked about. It was that mindset shift. And our 30-day commitment to just get this as a jump start turned into another month when we started seeing the ripple effect of that mindset shift start to impact every area in our lives. I went on to lose 50 pounds in just under 5 months and have been maintaining now since summer of 21. And that jump start was exactly the kick in the butt we needed, but not so that we could do this on our own. It was all so we could be a part of this community and to not only have lasting, lifelong change for ourselves, but to help others have that same experience and get that lifelong change themselves.
Thanks so much, Rick. Back to you, man.
Wow, that's super. Now look, Brittany, I love your story. I just love it. And John, it's so weird. The string was bugging me a little bit, and so I felt bad because I felt like you just called me out, but it was like, I kept wanting to tilt my head, but then when I heard the story, I thought, oh man, that'll just put you to quiet real quick. And it's amazing. What a great story. And I love, John, how you with such passion communicated about the stop, challenge, and choose. And those 3 points that you gave, a constant rhythm, make it even. And then finally, a positive emotional experience kind of tied into that really is incredible. And I'm sure that every one of us on here, if you've never had a reason in the last year to stop a minute and take a deep breath and blow it back out, I need you to call me, because I think we've all had many of those experiences. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.